Now on the back of each phone we have the camera, and this is really kind of a no-brainer here. The Replenish has a 2 megapixel fixed focus camera with a digital zoom and very low quality video capture. The Samsung Transform has a 3 megapixel camera, autofocus, and an LED flash. Captures QVGA video, which is still pretty low, but you do have the autofocus and the flash, plus you have a front-facing camera for video chatting. So camera, easily, hands down, the Transform is the better camera. Pictures were still not excellent, and it wasn't quite up to par with what I expected for a 3 megapixel autofocus camera and a flash. But that being said, it's still much better than a 2 megapixel fixed focus camera. I think this is very under-spec'd when it comes to cameras, even for a low-end or mid-range smartphone. The pictures were better than what I expected. Color saturation was better, but still the Transform wins this one. And then the front-facing camera, if you do a lot of video chatting, you can use it for that. It's a VGA quality camera. Now if we go again to the back of the phones, we'll take a look at the battery and also memory. We'll talk about that too. Oops. So take this off. The Transform ships with a 1500 milliamp hour battery, and the Replenish ships with a 1600 milliamp hour battery. And battery life was good for both phones, but it was better with the Transform. With the Replenish, I got about one full day, one 24-hour day, plus 9 hours on standby. With the Transform, I got about 3 days on standby, which is really excellent for an Android smartphone. 3 days on standby is great. And then with use, the Transform still only lasted a little over a day. That is a full 24-hour day. And then the Replenish also got me through a full day. So the bottom line is that you can easily get through one full day with each phone, but with a Transform you might be able to get 2 days if you use your battery wisely and you're not doing a lot of heavy work. That being said, you're probably going to have to charge both of them at night, but if you wanted to get 2 days, you might be able to do with a Transform. But battery life was still good with both devices. I mentioned that we talked about memory. The memory card slot for each phone is underneath the battery cover, which I don't understand for either one, because as you can see, it's on the side here. I don't know if you would see that. So they're on this. It's on the side right there. So they easily could have added a slot in the cover, but whatever. You don't have to take out the battery. At least you just have to take off the battery cover. Both phones ship with a 2 gigabyte card, and they both support up to 32 gigabytes. So that's nice. It seems to be a trend lately, manufacturers shipping their mid-range smartphones with at least a 2 gig card, which is better than what it used to be. It didn't ship with anything. So memory is about the same. Both ships with 2 gig cards. And because they both you can upgrade the Transform to 2.2 and the Replenish ships with 2.2, you can of course send your apps or save your apps to the memory card. So that 2 gig card will come in handy. So let's go over to the web browser for both of these phones and take a look at that. They are both on Sprint's network, so honestly 3G speeds are going to be basically the same, but you can see the Transform is for some reason having some problems loading the web browser. But with that, and we'll go to phonedog.com. Just to take a look, see how they load. We'll use pinch to zoom again and see how the processors handle it. Phonedog.com. Go. Okay. So of course the Replenish had a head start, so we're not going to judge speeds here, but I do want to show you the pinch to zoom just to show you processor, and basically, I talked about the processor and the Transform being slow and laggy, so I just want to compare that in the web browser. Okay, so here we have both phones have loaded phonedog.com, and we can zoom in and out. You can see that processor just handles it very well. We even have some flash content loaded on the page, but just pinch to zoom is very smooth, seamless. It works. It's just great. It's incredible. I was very surprised by the performance of the processor on the Replenish. Now the Transform is a completely different story. You can see, you know, it's not terrible, but it's not quite as smooth or responsive as the Replenish. It's just choppy and laggy. Scrolling is again choppy and laggy. So it's just, you know, I had a lot of problems with the processor on the Transform. Just, you know, very unresponsive, very laggy. I know I've said this already, and I probably sound like a broken record, but I can't. To me, I think the biggest problem with the Transform is just simply its processor. In pretty much every other way, it's better than the Replenish. The display is larger, the camera is better, you have a front-facing camera, the keyboard is also larger, which may be better for some people, but still, that processor is just terrible, and it makes it such a pain to use. And so, just for that reason alone, I would say go with the Replenish, because it's just so much easier, so much more smooth, no lag whatsoever, and the small display, it actually, you know, wasn't as much of a problem as I thought it would be. Now, you know, you may not be able to handle that, but I'm just going to say, just because of the processor, the Replenish is a better phone, better speeds. The keyboard is, you know, one of the best keyboards that I've ever used. But there it is, guys. You can decide and see, you know, what you prefer, or maybe, you know, what you need. But it's Replenish and the Transform, both on Sprint, so go check them out. You can watch the reviews for both of these phones. You can watch the video reviews. I also have written reviews on PhoneDog.com, so be sure and check that out. If you have any questions about these phones or any other phone that I've reviewed, you can follow me on Twitter. My screen name is It's My Job to Know. But thanks, guys, for watching. Keep it on PhoneDog.com for more news, updates, and reviews. I'm Sydney, and I'll see you guys later.